There is also the Pixel Studio, which is essentially an AI image generation tool, exactly the way you saw it in Apple's keynote. Same thing here. Remember how Apple made it? What did they call it? Something else studio?
Studio. It's a AI studio.
AI's playground studio, whatever. It's just an AI image generator. It's all on device. It's got a bunch of different built-in styles. You give it a text prompt. It spits out an image for you. You can refine it. You can adjust it, add things, add stickers, add text, have it make new, whatever. It exists. You can use it if you want.
I think they're trying to compete with Canva on this one.
Yeah.
Because Canva is like a massively, rapidly growing business, and even Adobe is freaked out at Canva and is trying to like compete with them. And Canva now has a lot of these AI features that allow you to make greeting cards and stuff really quickly.
I think that's
invites and stuff.
A great comparison, because the way they demoed it made a little more sense than just like, let's just make this thing for fun. Theirs was, we're having a small get together. Let's make a like fun invite at the Golden Gate Bridge bonfire or whatever. And but so Canva's that's a really good comparison.
Yeah. And also Canva's like an insanely fast growing platform.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
The one that caught a lot of attention that I think is either everything or nothing is called Add Me. And it's a camera feature. It's a mode that's built into the camera. So you swipe over from photos to portrait to Add Me. Add Me is for the situation where you are going to take a group photo, but you don't have an extra person who's not in the picture to take it for you. I don't know, you're on a hike or something. Everyone's going to be in the picture.
You always have to leave someone out when you do a group photo, and it's really sad.
Right. So this is, we don't have a tripod. We don't want to leave anyone out. It's a built-in photo in the camera. You stand back, you take a picture of everyone except for you, and you leave a little space for you somewhere in the picture. And then everyone leaves, and someone holds the camera and frames you walking in and standing in that last spot in the photo, and it stitches them all together. So now you're in the photo. Add Me has added you in. I tried this once at the hands-on. It actually worked.
It worked really well.
I think it looks awesome.
It's in a beautifully lit, super bright environment. I'm curious in different environments how well this may or may not work.
Yeah.
But it did seem to stitch me into the picture with you and Brandon pretty well.
It was kind of crazy because we were sort of more to the right where the light wasn't coming in as much, and you stood closer to the window where there was a lot more light, and it seemed to match the lighting scenarios together really well.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things that'll do like a C+ job where it's like better than asking someone who has no idea how to edit images how to add them into the picture. So it's just like, oh, it does it for you. Cool.
I mean, the demo we did felt like an A-.
Yeah. I watched a bunch of other people's videos, and there was a big range of results.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Yeah.
What did you see was getting messed up?
Becca, in her video for The Verge, said it worked half the time. It also sometimes messes up cutouts. So if your hand is like really brightly lit against a bright background, it just might like mess up the cutouts of like in between your fingers and things like that.
Interesting.
So I mean, it's obviously just built into the camera. It's like a convenient thing.
That's interesting, and I want to test it more. It seems like it's cutting out one of the pictures rather than just like finding the seam line between where it would connect and almost like feather brushing that.
I don't know exactly how it's doing it. That's a good question.
That seems like
I think
easier
it might be
way.
a combination of those things.
Okay.
It might be cutting out the whole subject and like feathering everything. It might be feathering half of it. It's a cool tool because it shows this like floating white frame.
The overlay was really cool.
The overlay. Which I think is the best part of it. It's what makes it relatively intuitive. All the person needs to know is hit the shutter button again. But yeah, it worked.
I also noticed that on the phones at the event, they put the Add Me feature just in the carousel at the bottom. So you have camera, video, and Add Me is right to the left.
Yeah.
So they're like, instead of putting it in some hidden sub menu of like, hey, here's a feature that you'll only really use if you know that Google has cool AI camera features, they have it right there.
Yeah.
So people who buy the Pixel are going to see that and think like, what's that?
Right alongside like night sight and stuff like that.
Right. And it is a feature that everyone could really take advantage of.
For sure.
Nice.
I could have used it this weekend. I was up with some friends and we just took a picture after playing disc golf, and we were like propping it on some guy's bag with like another water bottle and then like timing it to 10 seconds and running over and trying to get the dogs in the picture also. I was like, damn, this would have been perfect if one person could have just switched out. This was something I was wondering about. If you're just doing it with two people,
You can do it with 2 people.
Yeah,
You can do it with 2 people. How close can you get to each other and like
Yeah.
or
You can
fake
stand-
get to each
Oh,
other?
we're gonna find out.
You can stand. I saw some examples. You can stand behind them. It will be harder to.
Really?
It will look more fake.
Because the cutouts will be more obvious.
I want to try this. When Claire and I went to the Tetons, we were like took this really long hike up to this beautiful lake. It took forever, and we asked this guy to take a picture of us. And when I got back down, I looked at it. And it's the worst photo I've ever
Oh
seen.
no.
This is the future for everyone who's had that experience.
Yeah.
It would be awesome if we could have just taken both of them.
Exactly.
Yeah. A few months ago, I was at Central Park and I had my camera with me, and a guy stopped me with his friend and was like, "Hey, you look like a photographer. Could you take our photo?" And I was like, "Here we go." And as soon as someone saw me taking his photo, a queue started. And I took the photos of like 7 groups of people because everyone kept seeing me taking a picture of them and were like, "Oh, we should get our photo." And I was like, "What do you? This is what?"
So you're saying if one of those people had a Pixel 9, you
all
would have
of-
turned them down?
If all of them had a Pixel 9, I'd be
You'd have
like,
been like, no.
do it yourself.
As someone who missed the event, could I go around New York with a Pixel 9 taking pictures of just random people without their consent on the street and then make a big family photo of like 30 people who have never met each other before?
Yes.
As long as they're
It'd be
in the
really
same
hard.
place.
They all have to be in the same place.
Oh.
So you could have people
So if I
walking
wait,
by.
if I wait at one section and just
Yeah.
I could make the cutest family photo of people who literally have never met
It would
each
be
other.
tough.
You want to do one better? You can have someone else hold the camera, and you can multiply yourself.
Yeah, you could just make a bunch of
That is a
mistakes.
good point.
It tries to
Several
stop
of
you
you.
from doing it, but it does mess up.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
The multiple,
Julian's done it.
the random person one would be hard because like the point kind of is like when the next person grabs the photo, they can be like, "Oh, move over to the right a little bit," or like so you can frame them up because it shows this overlay of how you've got to frame it up and where the people were before.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be able to tell people walking down the street like, "Oh, can you move to your right a little bit?" Or
Yeah.
But you should try.
I don't
anyways.
know. Adam just pulled up a picture of Julian from Wired that he's in it twice.
Yeah, it tries to stop you,
Is it
but
the
it
orange
can mess
jacket
up
one?
and it can
Yeah.
make it
Yeah, I
work.
saw that one.
I think
looks like it did it.
No, I think this might be a short. I think this might be a
How many of the
Trying to
same
trick it.
person can we fit
Yeah.
into one photo?
Actually, that's a really great segue because there is also Magic Editor, which is improved on these new phones.
Updated, yeah.
And there are some extra things that it can do. Obviously, you already know what Magic Editor could do. It could do a bunch of like erasing things. Now, it can also reframe based on photography principles. You can have it add more background or level the horizon or do whatever with generative fill to make your photo look more correct.
Yeah.
It can also reimagine though. And I played with this in my hands-on. There are some things that it did and do and some things that it just decided it wouldn't do. But you can just select like a whole road that a car is on and highlight the whole thing and hit reimagine and just type like raging river. And it will just turn it into a river. And it's a totally new scene that never existed that you just reimagined it as.
Yeah.
And I also want to test that and see what I can get it to do.
We need to just take pictures around the like
Ambiguous.
dump area that we are in and make it look like beautiful mountains
Make
and
it
wildflowers.
reimagine beautiful. Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Sebastian DeWitt had a good thread about this. It says, "Wow, Mom, I can't believe these photos of my 3rd birthday. I can't believe there were all these flowers and hot air balloons." And then Mom, "Oh no, sweetie, that was just something we added for no reason on our Pixel phones."
Yeah,
So, you
these
know.
aren't photos anymore.
Look,
so
you did
much.
go to Disney World when you were 3. That's-
Look, it's Mickey.
Do these? I didn't even check. Are these watermarked as edited? There aren't, right?
I think it's probably Google's like invisible watermark thing.
Oh man, because like in a Magic Editor photo, if I erase a photo bomber in the background and I save it, it's like boom, new photo, no watermark needed. Like I just got rid of somebody in the background.
Yeah.
Now it's pushing that even more. I literally changed a road into a lake, and I added a hot air balloon behind me, and I changed the person into a dog, and it's like,
Julian's add me picture does not have a watermark.
yeah.
It also,
Well,
Interesting.
bro. This is picture the teenager texting. No, Mom, I swear I'm at John's house. Here's a picture of me at John's house.
I don't know. Every single year we keep saying what is a photo more and more. And at this point, it's like,
it's our fault.
I mean, this is definitely not a photo anymore.
No.
The reimagine part, it's just not a photo. It's an image,
yeah.
but it's not a photo.
I can get the like reframing and like adding a little bit of generative fill on the outside that's just trying to copy what it is. Maybe this also didn't do a great job at it. There's like very obvious a big chunk in the
Yeah,
corner of
that
it that
was
looks
weird.
like every
Yeah.
AI fill in.
There was a demo they did on the Pixel Fold where they took this photo of this guy sitting on some grass, blowing a bubble with some chewing gum, and they took it at an angle, which was funny because they're in the middle of a field, and the guy was like, "If I had only had more time to take this photo correctly," and it's like, bro, you're in the middle of a
field.
The
field.
bubble was about to pop.
I guess. So they used it to reframe it. They added more sky, added more grass, and made the horizon level, which, in my opinion, the first photo is cooler, but whatever.
Agreed.
But the way that it filled in the extra information was like some of the grass very much looks generated.
Yeah.
Fix the shoes.
They could have had a better example of this. They did add information to the shoes because the shoes had gotten cut off, but it changed the design of the left shoe in the front part of it.
Yeah, but none of this matters because we're about to put a bunch of flowers over it.
That's true. And then they added a bunch of flowers to the grass because what is reality?
They really did.
They really did.
And a hot air balloon.
So that's another AI.
Wait, wait. The hot
And
air
not a
balloon?
great hot air
Okay,
balloon.
the hot air balloon thing was really funny because these were all live demos. So he circles an area, and he wanted to show how much screen he had, so he zoomed in a lot to circle the area for some reason. And then he said, hot air balloon. And he's like, cool, it generated a number of different options, so let's go through the options. The first one was really good.
Hot
the
air
second one was like a potato.
Not a hot air
It
balloon.
was not a hot air balloon.
Blob.
It was just some blob. And he's like, let's look at some other ones. And he got to the third one, and it was clearly not as good as the first one, but he couldn't go back to the first one because he didn't want to go back past the blob again.
I love
He was
that.
trying to just...
That was my favorite moment of the keynote.
Honestly, hats off
There's
to
someone in his
Google.
ear like, do not scroll back. Do not scroll back.
Hats
right
off to Google for doing all this live.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Although some of it definitely wasn't live because the generated thing in the Pixel Studio, the image was the exact same image of the Golden Gate Bridge and the fire and everything as the one in our demo units. Those were pre-made.
Maybe that's just what it generates every time you have that prompt in that style.
Their whole
But a diffusion model is not supposed to do that.
yeah, I think they even said it in the
But I think-
keynote that like this won't be the same.
I think that style parameter for Google's like 7 or 8 styles at the bottom are extremely specific.
Maybe.
I think.
Maybe. It looked exactly the same, though, as the one in our demo. But anyway.
So that's Magic Editor. That's another AI feature. That's kind of it. There's one more called Made You Look. It's not AI at all, but it's a software
Wait, no, there's a
feature.
couple other.
There's a
good
couple
ones.
other ones.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
What'd I miss?
Screenshots was one that felt really
didn't talk
stupid
about
at
this.
first, and I
Oh,
actually
right.
think is one of the most useful out of all of them.
I can
I
be
just fell for
swayed maybe.
Marquez's trap. He baited you into
He
that.
baited me into that. I thought the screenshot app. So essentially, what it does is
Pinterest.
every time you take a screenshot, it stores it in a separate folder that's labeled screenshots. In a separate app. Sorry. Well, there's an
Whole
app.
new app.
When you take the screenshot, you don't have to be in the app. You just take it, and then in the app has an AI search feature. So this is pretty much Microsoft Recall, except you take all of the screenshots instead of Microsoft.
Yeah.
So then through that, all of your screenshots, you can use a search feature that will search all of those screenshots you've taken and bring things up if you're looking for them. And you also can organize them all in like different folders. So if you have like
Collections,
you just take screenshots for every time you want to maybe you see a gift you want to buy for your mom, or you're looking up bikes, they said. It puts it all in the same folder. It's basically, Alex said it, Pinteresting your screenshot.
Which is
But Google
strange.
Photos didn't already do this?
So it did. That's what is kind of strange because Google Photos already has a screenshots folder. Google Photos already identifies what's in the screenshot, and you can search through your Google Photos to find it. The main differentiator is that it just gives you a way to organize it. And then the main differentiator, because it's actually the main differentiator, but I forgot until now, is that it adds special metadata to the screenshots that you don't get added otherwise. So it adds a link. So if you take a picture...
This is only if you take a screenshot in Chrome or YouTube.
Unfortunately, yeah. They said that they are going to have an open API that allows you to integrate this. I don't think anyone will because nobody cares about this. But if you take a screenshot in like Chrome on a Chrome page, when you go in the screenshots app and you find the thing, you can jump immediately back to the page.
That's cool.
Which is
See,
cool.
that's cool. That's some good old fashioned pixel shit right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Same
about?
way
It's just
video.
metadata though, which is interesting. They could probably do that without AI with regular screenshots.
Yeah, my hot take is they could do all of this in Google Photos
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah. The organization part is kind of cool. It just is like a better UI of having it all there. And then the searching through it is like live updating it, all the searches coming up through pretty quickly. It does feel like it should just be in Photos, but I think the different types of like saved organization of it is kind of neat.
There's also a good amount of things that I want to use this exact functionality for that aren't screenshots. That's like me taking a picture of an event invite or me taking a picture of a billboard.
Fair.
And then I have to take a screenshot of my picture for it to then show up in the screenshots app. So it's just a little...
Yeah,
Can
but you
I
could just
say my
line it up in
conspiracy
Google
theory?
Photos.
Yeah.
I think that they want this mainly for shopping.
Yeah.
They don't want you to do that, where you take a picture of something, then screenshot the picture because that's useful. That's what
Yeah.
Google Photos is for.
It's just
I think
another
this
way
is
for them
shopping.
to sell things.
Can I say my conspiracy theory for it? They just
The way you say it.
no, mine's not as bad. This is just them being like, don't delete all your old screenshots. You need more cloud storage now. Hold on to all of your photos on your.
Which is funny.
Screenshots isn't enough.
Which is
Yeah, but if you saved
high
all of your
resolution.
screenshots,
I don't delete my screenshots.
I have a thing that deletes them after like 30 days.
when you go
Oh.
to the free up space part of Google Photos, it suggests deleting
Deleting.
your
Yeah,
screenshots
yeah, yeah.
folder.
Yeah.
Which
It takes up a lot.
funny. It's high resolution. It's the same resolution as your screen.
Yeah.
Are they using all of my screenshots for
Yeah.
training data?
Yes.
Am I just making
They
more
were
data?
they've been doing that for years.
The funny thing is, last night I had an instance in which this would have been very useful, because I dance a lot at weddings. I ripped my suit. I jumped up in the air, did the splits. My
What
suit
song?
pants ripped in half.
In the air?
In the air.
Wait, not landing in the
Damn,
air?
dog.
In the air. They ripped in the air. Many people were there.
I need to know what
Yeah, wait,
song.
can we guess what song?
I don't remember.
Was it Mr. Brightside?
Possibly.
There is no song that I can think of that would actually warrant someone
Definitely a
jumping in the
Sabrina
air and
Carpenter
What,
song.
jump around?
Okay, never mind. You got
Well, but jump around, you're just hopping mostly.
Fair. That is
Jump
also fair.
around.
It probably would be the worst one to do.
Yeah, like a
Jump up, and get down. The
I-
last one, big jump.
I could picture you doing a mean air splits to Twist and Shout by the Beatles too.
That's true.
Especially if it's like 11:45 p.m. You know?
It was about that time.
All right.
So anyway,
It's context.
a friend of mine was like, we should get you a new suit, but we should like look at options online because your last suit was a boring color. And I was like, okay. So we're like looking through and they're like, oh, this is a cool one. Like, can you save it? And I was like, I guess I'll go on my computer and like make a folder and put the link in the folder for suit shopping. But I was thinking like, wait, this could be useful in the screenshots app because it would bring me back because we were just searching Google for different suits, so I wasn't sticking to a certain brand. So being able to like look at the ones I liked and then jump to the page and know like what brand it was and like check out, that would be useful. But
And-
they, again, I still feel like they could just put this in regular screenshots.
You could though also
Google
save it
Photos.
in a suits folder. So now every time you
Suits
find
album.
one you like, you have a screenshot suits. But I
Suits
can't say
album.
all of this at
But
once.
in Apple Photos, I could just search suit and it would pull up all my screenshots.
So can
and have
Google
a-
Photos.
Yeah,
Google Photos,
right.
yeah.
But not with a link.
This is why I'm saying just add the link metadata to Google Photos. I don't know.
I'm with you on that. They
Yeah.
should just add this to Google Photos.
Yeah.
And maybe they will in a year. And they'll fire the 70 people who
They
just
probably
made this.
will. Yeah, for sure.
They don't. Oh, okay. I have an idea for you guys. Since all of these models are trained on human activities, we want them to also do the things that you guys do. So every time it gets to the end of a waveform clip, it should do what the human does. So if you guys get to the end of a waveform clip and hit like, and then subscribe, and then leave a comment about cardboard, then everyone who asks Gemini to watch a waveform clip will also have their Gemini like, subscribe, and leave a comment about cardboard.
Would that break TOS?
Yeah, probably.
Let's try it.
Let's try it anyway.
Scrape it.